Hello and welcome to Mastermundi, or I should say Lord Mazdamundi. He's a level up guide. He is part of one of my second favorite race of the game, which is Lizardman. So let's take a look at him real quick. He is venerated, where he gives minus 50% miscast base chance, plus 50 experience per turn for Lord's army, plus 40 winds of magic, and minus 50% temple guards upkeep. So this maybe makes you think like, oh, I'll go do temple guards. I wouldn't recommend that yet. There are 150. Actually, 150 isn't that bad, but you will have to keep note that you will have to get to a tier 4, and that's going to take you a long time before you can get even thinking about temple guard. Plus you need this building too. But I wouldn't recommend trying to go for temple guard. It's really nice that they're minus 50 upkeep, as they're only 150, but that's going to go up as you continue on. But anyways, first things first with Mastermundi. You will want to grab a Route Marcher, but then after that, you will want to go down his magic. Want to grab Apotheosis, because Apotheosis will help. Then, don't think about Rolling Skies, don't bother with it. Go to Amonok. You get that cooldown, that's going to help you early game. That's going to stop some enemies, prevent them from coming at you and messing up your forces. Because for Lizardman, a lot of the units are super expensive. As you can see here, base sources are 187. This Bastildon is 162. Skinks are 100. So, and Crust Guards are 260. You're probably better off going with a Skink army at first until you get to tier 4, and then you're able to get Stegodons usually. Now, still Nev Amonok is going to be good early game because it's just that good. Want to get Apotheosis so that you can heal this Pharaoh Bastildon and I'm just going to call him Mastermundi. And if you put this Sora Scar veteran into his army, you can heal him too, because single entities benefit from healing magic. So this is really good for healing them up at the end of the battle. Then you're going to grab Evasion for obvious reasons as a stepping stone, and also get that plus 5 melee defense. Now, here's the thing. You do not want to get Exorcism. You don't have enough points to grab Exorcism and Rolling Skies. Why would you not grab Exorcism? Plus 4 leadership isn't going to help. Immune to psychology isn't going to help unless they have fear effects. Most things don't usually have fear effects. And plus 4 leadership isn't going to help you a ton. Rolling Skies isn't going to help you unless the enemies are flying. And I really hate this in this game, where there is 2 banners that do pretty good things, minus leadership or minus melee attack, but it only affects flying units. There's not that many flying units in the game. Hell, you start off being attacking Norska. They have no flying units. Then you go fight Dark Elves. Most of the roster that they're going to fill is not flying units. The AI doesn't fill the roster really with flying units. So there's no point of grabbing those two. So instead, a thing you can get while casting is probably Shield of Sapphire. There is a point extra that you can use, and you can grab Shield of Sapphire. But what you really want to grab is Arcane of the Unforgiving and Comment of Castora. These two are damaging spells. This one is good if they're clumped up against your forces, and this is good for when they're running around. So, and then you grab a Greater Arcane Conduit, which is going to help you a lot, and it's always active. Now, at this point, I believe both of these will be open. which path you take first is up to you. But I would suggest going down this path, the top path, as you will get Wind's Magic Power Reserve, minus enemies Power Reserve, gain even more, so you get a total of 28 right off the bat. You get free cast of banishment, and you get free uses of this thing called Urination of Cities, which allows you to deal a lot of damage, which is pretty good. Now, while you're grabbing all this stuff, if you get his mount slack, be it opens up, grab it immediately. Just grab him immediately, as this will be a bigger benefit for Mazdamundi, as he is a strong mount. Now, you're gonna go to Unfathomable Presence, grabbing that magic resist. That's not gonna matter much, but the rest of this is. Grab Soul Stone, so miscast base chance -40. And if you remember, he already has -50. So you got -90%. Meaning you can overcast all of these abilities and be very unlikely to do it. We're gonna grab Harrowing Scrutiny just for as a stepping stone. But that +3 public order is going to be nice, especially after you just take over a territory. Transcendent Healing, which will give you regeneration, and then Higher State of Consciousness. That is very useful. Now, I would suggest grabbing Telekinesis about now. You don't really have to, but you should grab it eventually. And then you're going to be going down to the blue tree, because if you grabbed all this, you probably have Stegodons. If you don't, that's fine. You're probably ahead of the curve. Unless it's turn 100, then you may be behind the curve if you're not able to recruit Stegodons. But if you're able to recruit Stegodons, I would suggest actually going the red tree, go Inspiring Presence, then immediately grabbing 3 of Beast Driver and just stop the red tree. Do not bother with the red tree, as the rest of this stuff isn't really useful. Going to the second tree, where is it? For Stegodons. If you're focusing Stegodons, +10 armor isn't going to help. Charge bonus isn't going to help. Leadership isn't going to help. You would need, if that leadership was maybe +10, charge bonus was 24. Basically, if you doubled all of this, it might be considered. Because that isn't 10 armor the way you would think of it. It is effectively 5% chance of negating damage. Which sounds like a lot, but really it is not. Because there's an upper limit and a lower limit. And the lower limit is half that. You always consider armor half of its actual value. So, don't bother with this. I mean, yeah, Slam Force Field would be nice, but it isn't necessary. Instead, I would say go down this tree and spend the rest of your points, your 10 points, in this tree. Now, why would I say that? Because, for one, this tree will save you money. Like I said before, lizardmen pay a lot of money for their units. 50% of Temple Guard means they're 150. And if they're 150 at 50%, they're 300 at full price. And these Pharaoh Bastiladons are supposed to be cheaper than Stegodons. So, just keep that in mind when you're grabbing stuff. Now, here's the thing. This part of the tree, I personally would like to get bonded service so that can get to that -15 recruitment cost, so that I can have more money to spend on other things. So then I would suggest grabbing public order, as an extra slot because one, untainted isn't gonna matter. You got good enough untainted buildings to not care. You're not gonna be in ambush stance a whole bunch as Lizardman. I mean, you can be, but you're not supposed to be ambushing as Lizardman. You need to, you probably go into the faces more so. Then you grab Draftmaster to get to the next part, and of course you grab Lightning Strike. Then you grab this upkeep reduction, and then you grab this for your final point. Why did I do this instead of maybe Wary or Casualty Replenishment? If I'm going for Stegodons, I don't need Casualty Replenishment because Mazdamundi has a healing. And I can get another healer in the group. Especially if you have the... If you have... Where's that boy? If you have a Skink Oracle. If you have the Beastman and Lizardman update, or DLC, which includes Skink Oracles, then you will have Earthblood, which is the better healing spell of Apotheosis and Earthblood. But that doesn't matter too much. Why would I not grab Wary? If I got ambushed and I had a full Stegodon stack, I wouldn't care. Because most enemy forces that are able to ambush aren't going to have good enough units that will be able to take out my Stegodon stack. Or I can roam with my Stegodon stack and be safe. So I'm not worried because I'm getting a lot more worth out of it. Out of minusing the upkeep by 15%. If we look back at this, Temple Guards are now 81 gold for upkeep. This is 125. This is 200. These guys are 77, 700. These guys are 144. They lowered. And it will save you more money. So that is Mazdamundi. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something on how to level up your lords. I hope this video will help you in the future of you going to the higher difficulties. This has been me, Kelsey Drake, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.